Howdy, folks. Widget Wells from NeedCoffee.com here. Back for another Wayhomer. Sorry, I didn't make it last week because, oh my god, air. Which is nice because it's warm. And you'll forgive me if I'm a little muted, but we need air. It's summer in Georgia. Anyway, I couldn't make it last week because I was on the road trip. I'm editing all that video together and stuff. But for right now, we're here today to talk about Jonah Hex. So, Jonah Hex, synopsis, what can I say about Jonah Hex? So, Western, right? Western-esque, not in the Wild West or anything, sorta. It takes place in post-Civil War, and Jonah Hex is a former soldier, fought for the Confederacy, and did some things which made him some enemies, shall we say. One of those enemies, you can tell is an enemy because it's played by John Malkovich. And basically, what Jonah Hex did was get John Malkovich's character, his name's Turnbull, got his character's son killed. So in revenge, Turnbull killed Jonah Hex's whole family. We know this because they show it to us repeatedly through the film. And, yeah. So basically, Turnbull is a bad guy, capital B, capital G, and Jonah Hex wants to kill him, and they want to kill each other, and there's lots of want of killing. There's your synopsis. So anyway, very quickly, Jonah Hex, DC Comics character, there's been a lot that's happened. There's probably been more crazy stuff that's happened to Jonah Hex as a character than pretty much any other Western character that I can think of. I mean, he was sent to the future and was turned into kind of like a sci-fi hero for a while, and then he went the Vertigo route and went really dark, and I don't know. I just remember reading Jonah Hex when he was just a Western guy, so I don't know where any of this stuff came from, which is fine because I'm not reading a comic book, I'm watching a movie. But just to say that's where I come from, based on what I've read recently in magazines by Tomorrow's, for all I know, I was reading the Earth 2 Jonah Hex. I have no idea. Anyway, leaving the world of comic geekdom for a moment. Basically, the film, there's kind of apparently two schools of thought for how you do a comic book movie these days. There's either the realistic way of doing it, which was obviously Chris Nolan and his Batman films, very realistic, or there's the kind of fun comic booky way of doing it, i.e., let's not take this too seriously way of doing it, which, you know, was most recently was successfully pulled off by The Losers. I think what they were trying to do is, based on what I was seeing, is it's kind of like a Western version of the Crow movie. Not the Crow comic book, but the Crow movie. In that kind of revenge, serious, kind of moody kind of thing going on. And it's not bad. I mean, I get that feel. I don't know if that's what they were going for or not. They were going for that kind of goofy action comic book movie type of thing, from what I can tell, and based on the trailer. But part of the thing is this: it sadly reminds me a lot of Punisher Warzone, and I say that because in that Punisher film, you had Ray Stevenson, who was a fantastic Punisher. He played Frank Castle beautifully. And here you've got Josh Brolin, who is delivering pretty much a perfect Jonah Hex. I mean, I have absolutely no complaints about him, totally believed him, and I thought it was fine. The problem is, I think either John Malkovich or the direction they gave John Malkovich, because the only time John Malkovich, he's the villain, and the only reason you really know he's the villain going in is because he's John Malkovich. And instead of a character with a great deal of menace, that when he comes on the screen you just feel the menace, he's only somewhat menacing when he does something, i.e. shoots somebody, and even then he's doing it with such a detachment and nonchalance that you almost get, it's almost like he was directed, hey John, pull back, keep pulling back a little bit. But the problem is he's so pulled back that you almost feel like, I'm shooting you because it says in the script I'm supposed to shoot you now. So really what you get is, instead of a really good villain, which Malkovich can do, I mean, I really like Malkovich, what you get is John Malkovich with a lot of funky hair. That's pretty much it. And the problem is, once you've got that in place, where you've got a great Jonah Hex and no good villain for him to deal with, it's kind of hard to get engaged, really. I mean, then you've got just stuff blowing up, and I'm the first guy to sign on for stuff blowing up, but it just feels like there could have been more there. And that's where we get back into, like I said, I really don't like it when films feel the need to remind me of things I just saw a half hour ago. It's not even like a television show where I saw this last week. I just saw it half an hour ago. I have not left the theater. I didn't go pee or anything. I remember seeing Jonah Hex's family. I remember fans. I remember seeing Jonah Hex's family get killed. Okay, it's basically how we started the film. I don't need to be shown it every what seems like half hour on the hour. And it almost feels like in the editing room they went, Malkovich is really phoning it in. Let's really remind people why he's bad. Let's remind him why he's bad. How about that? And so you get it again. And it's like, we saw this already. So, yeah, I mean, it just kind of falls a little flat based on that. Here's a perfect example. If you see, I'm not giving anything away, but there is an Irish henchman, and I say Irish henchman because for all I know, he was from, based on watching The Wire, I've decided that you can't tell where anybody's from ever. So, for all I know, he's from here. But anyway, every time you see him on screen, he's got a great character, great presence, and there is some menace there. But you don't even have to do anything. He's just sort of on screen and you're just going, yeah, you're evil. He is a better villain than Malkovich. And probably that's why things end up the way they do. Again, not trying to do any spoilers. But yeah, he is great. Malkovich feels like he's phoning it in. Which is interesting because, if I remember correctly, he was offered the role of the Green Goblin and he did not take it. Probably because of money, but also because, specifically because of money, because he said you take roles like that because it's for the money, you're not doing anything artistic, it's a paycheck to do a comic book film like that. That's what he said, paraphrased. So you must have gotten a decent paycheck for this, and it's obvious it's not artistic. Anyway, I'm thinking probably 2.5 cups out of 5, right down the middle. Delivered on the trailer, which made it, said at the worst case, the trailer said to me, worst case scenario, I'm a dumb action flick, which is going to be fine to rent. And that's pretty much all it showed up and did. It kind of tossed that carcass on my desk in front of me, and I went, okay, you can go. So, a little disappointing in that it could have been a lot more, but decent. And decent for Josh Brolin, and watch for the Jeffrey Dean Morgan cameo. I wonder if he was just, hey, you're doing Losers, you want to do another Vertigo-type crazy DC film? Sure, why not? Get over here. And he did Watchmen before that. You know what? It's his goal to be in as many DC films as possible, I guess, because he's 3 for 3 right now. Anyway, so there you go. We did this one first because we know everybody's going to go see Toy Story, so you don't need me to tell you that. But as for this one, yeah, wait and rent it, and watch it for Josh Brolin. Anyway, that's about it. So, keep those cards and letters coming. Thank you to everybody who enjoys these things and who comments and lets us know their thoughts on it. And, we appreciate your help If you want to know how to do more of these things and support us in this, go to needcoffee.com/membership for more information. And we'll see you on needcoffee.com for more ongoing mayhem. And I'm driving now, so I can't look at the camera to say bye. So you'll just have to trust me that I say bye. Well, I am saying bye. You have to trust me doing it. I'm doing it. You'll just have to trust what's in my heart.